Ahoy, James here, how are you doing? So, I have got another video on the way, which may possibly be my longest video to date. It's responding to some of the arguments presented in the debate, which was presented on Man Woman Myths channel. In the meantime, though, I'm going to start the first video in a series debunking feminist theory, or hypothesis, to give it a slightly more accurate name. Now, if you're a feminist watching this who doesn't buy into these particular concepts, then I have something to tell you. Come closer, don't be shy, that's it. These videos aren't about you. Okay then, so we clear? Then let's begin. I'm going to start this off with the easiest one and one of my biggest pet peeves, objectification. Objectification is the concept of mentally reducing a person's function to that of an object. Not just any object, but a sex object. And not just any person, but a female person, though you'd be hard pushed to find many people who actually admit to that part. Not just that, but that it's also inherently bad. I'm going to premise this by giving you my view. I see said viewpoint as inherently sexphobic and misogynistic and misandrist. It's harmful to all people. I see absolutely no problem with sexual objectification of a man or a woman unless they have explicitly expressed offence. By this, of course, I'm not referring to sexual assault or anything of that nature. I'm talking about telling someone you find them attractive and people who engage in modelling, dancing, porn or prostitution. So firstly, why is it only sexual objectification which is a problem? We objectify each other all the time. A football player is objectified for their ability to kick a ball. A plumber is objectified for their ability to repair and replace pipes. A game show contestant is objectified for their ability to answer questions. We generally don't stop to consider them as individuals with their own lives, thoughts, ambitions, emotions, any more than we would have to in our interactions. And of course nobody has a problem with this, because it's only a problem when you are forcing somebody into those positions against their will. Christina Rad recently said that she finds it insulting when somebody mentions that she is both smart and beautiful. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not going to tell you that you're beautiful or smart. But most people don't feel like that. I think that this is the biggest compliment you can give to a person. You're saying that they belong to two groups, smart people and beautiful people, which together is pretty rare. You're complimenting their brain and their body. In short, you're complimenting everything about them. I also fail to see how this is objectification, since objectification is supposed to be about reducing someone to a sexual object at the exclusion of everything else, which that statement implicitly does not do. It's often claimed anyone who does sex work or shows their body off for money isn't doing so because they really want to, they're doing it because they have no other options. Now take David Beckham for example. Now, as you can see, the bastards at H&M have photoshopped his head onto my body. So, I read an article by a certain feminist who tries to show how super not sexist she is by including him as a token man when talking about objectification. Clearly he wasn't able to make that choice for himself. He's clearly desperate for money and has to let himself get borderline raped in order to pay his bills. No, you fucking idiot. He's got plenty of money and he's a world-class football player who has plenty of options. He's doing this because he wants to. Most of the time, though, I don't even see the token men referenced. It's all about the harm caused to women. To think that a man can make these choices freely, but not a woman, is more misogynistic than anything I've ever heard from within the MRM. Anti-porn activists especially show this viewpoint. Men in porn are paid less, if at all. If anything, they're the ones who are reduced to just their genitals, and women have more choices and often tend to choose the guy that they're working with. That being said, the men in porn do it of their own free will, just like the women. Gemma Jameson, Sasha Grey, Isabel Wren, James Dean, Ron Jeremy, Caden Cross, and a lot of the sex workers I know from YouTube all enjoy their work and are pretty intelligent people with lots of other options. They choose to have sex or take their clothes off for money. Hell, I've even done it myself a few times. As long as the people involved are honest about what they want and they're doing it with informed consent, nobody should have the right to tell them otherwise. Person A is willing to do something sexual for money. Person B is willing to trade money for them to do it. Person A does what they're paid for. Transaction over. Where's the harm? So, contrary to popular belief, most women at a sexual age enjoyed being viewed as sexy. If you don't, or there are particular acts which you aren't willing to do, or for whatever reason, don't do them. Simple as that. But don't take away other people's options. To tell these people that them expressing themselves sexually or enjoying the attention is wrong reeks of the same puritanical, socially conservative, Victorian horseshit that they so virulently claim to be against in almost any other context. If you want to change society so that people aren't forced into doing these things due to lack of options, I'm right behind you. But nearly all of the abuse which takes place within the sex industry, and the reason people find it hard to get out of, is because of moralising pig fuckers, who then use that as evidence. No, they use that as evidence that it's wrong. It's like pissing in someone's face and then saying they deserved it because they punched you in the face back. So, why do people buy into objectification? I see otherwise rational people buying into this, sometimes, and I can only imagine it's caused by infection by a harmful meme. I see memes as analogous to viruses and critical thinking as equivalent to the immune system and or vaccination. Even if you have a very strong immune system, if you're surrounded by people with a particular virus, you stand a good chance of eventually getting infected, and we're all prone to this. Second reason, projecting. Women check out guys too. Generally they're more subtle than guys are, but yeah, they do it. And I think for some people who spout the objectification idea, they're simply projecting their own thoughts and feelings towards men. To quote Valerie Sloan's, is that how you pronounce her name? I don't know. Anyway, to call a man an animal is to flatter him. He's a machine, a walking dildo. And that perfectly sums up how I think a lot of the radical feminists view men. Another possible reason could be simply working from the premise. So women work from the premise that women are oppressed and men aren't. Therefore, any way that women appear to have the upper hand is actually not privilege, it's discrimination. It's not viewing someone as a sexual being, it's contributing to rape culture. Fourth reason could just be very simple jealousy. They don't like the attention that other women are getting because it takes away from their attention, the attention they're getting, so they like to throw that out there. Fifth reason, not understanding that other people think differently to them. I don't like this, so nobody else should either. This is the exact opposite of what feminism claims to be about. It's supposed to be about giving women the freedom to make their own life choices, free of people telling them what they can and can't do because of the fact that they're female. Women tend to be the sexual selectors. Some of this is social, some of this is biological. It's the same way for nearly the entire animal kingdom, after all. This isn't likely to change anytime soon, but I don't see this as inherently a bad thing. And the actions of a group as a whole don't define its individual members, so this in no way takes away the rights of any individual who doesn't want to be viewed in a sexual manner. Finally, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Jordanowen. He did a video which kind of relates to this. He did a video about Gail Dines, a delusional, hateful feminist lecturer, and her views regarding individualism, and I highly recommend you check out that video. The next video in this series will be debunking the concept of rape culture, so look out for that. Until next time, sexy guys and girls, comment, rate, subscribe, leave me video responses, and I shall see you soon. Bye.